Let's just dive in.
Let's just dive in. Okay.
Let's go. Welcome to Witchcast.
'Cause it's Witchcast.
I'm Emily.
I'm Kate.
And we are your co-hosts of this, the Witchcast podcast.
That's right. We're your learning and growing novice witches who are here to explore everything under the woo-woo, esoteric, spirituality, witchy umbrella.
Yes, that's right. We're under this big old umbrella and we are not getting wet.
No.
Not today.
Unless we want to. But it's our choice.
Yeah, we choose
I
the
realized
wetness.
I was like holding my breath the whole time you were talking, and I was like, why are you doing that?
That's so funny.
I'm just that excited to be here with you. Oh my gosh. What are we talking about today, Em?
Kate, today we're talking about Satanism.
Satanism.
Talking about the big guy downstairs.
Oh my gosh, the big guy downstairs. That needs to go on a tote bag. I love that. I was getting a lot of deja vu in my research. I don't know if you were. I feel like
interesting.
Well, maybe so we're going to kind of revert back to a little bit, kind of loose and fast, of our old format where we each took part of our research and we're going to kind of do a top line, semi-deep, medium dive into this subject because it's actually pretty complex.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, you could go episode. I was like, my notes are just like, I feel like I repeat this a bunch, but like so many of these could be like an entire, not just like an entire episode, but an entire season of Witchcast.
Yes.
An entire series of their own show.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
That you could do just out of like all the different pieces of what puts together Satanism, which isn't even like, you know, necessarily our thing. Like we shouldn't be doing whole seasons on it, should we? Maybe. I don't know. Write in and let us know.
Maybe like a bonus content. Emily and I have talked about maybe possibly eventually someday doing like a Patreon and we could do bonus content. So if you
we
wanted,
could do like a separate like 6 episode mini series about like one of the like satanic panic trials or something like that.
Ooh, that would be so interesting. I'd be really into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good point. This isn't even what we practice. We're not part of the Satanic Temple. We don't consider ourselves
There is one of them I
Satanists.
really like, but we'll get to that later.
Right. So I have the history and kind of early origins and where we first see the word even Satan or the idea of being a venerate of Satan popping up in early times. And then Emily's going to kind of take it over around like 1950, 1960-ish.
Yeah,
right?
well, I'll be talking Satanism in the modern era.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
But I was thinking, like, I feel like that's a lot of the topics that we do. We do a top line, semi deep dive, not super deep, enough to whet your whistle.
Whet your whistle.
Whet your whistle.
Whet your whistle.
If you wanted to then go do, if you were like, oh, I'm actually interested in this and now I want to go research it further. But yeah, it's a nice, again, we're casual witches for casual learning.
This is like the accidental thesis statement of Witchcast is like, here's all of the possible things that could be considered witchcraft. And like, you know, here's just like enough to get you started. And then if you are into it, then go. Yeah.
Cool. Go do it yourself. Bye.
Yeah.
It's like we're like the amuse-bouche of podcasts. We're here to just give you like a little sampling. We're a little past hors d'oeuvres.
We're just a little salmon on a cracker, you know?
Oh my gosh. Delicious.
Delicious.
I probably have said this on the podcast before, but that is one of my like honestly top 5 favorite things of being alive and human on Earth is having past hors d'oeuvres. Like
yes. Wait, I don't know if we have talked about this, but I 100% feel that. I was at a wedding thing this past week. A wedding. What one might call a wedding this past week. And they had this one that was like a little toast with like a little like piece of like almost like roast beef, but like the prosciutto of roast beef on top. And it was just like buttery or like oily and like soft enough with like a little crunch and a little meat. It was like, oh, chef's kiss. It was delicious.
That's how you know it was a good hors d'oeuvre. If you can describe it and you keep thinking about it days later, like that is a good hors d'oeuvre. Yeah. Wait, was there any like sauce or other stuff?
Yeah, there was. I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was like maybe a little bit of like a mustard mayo aioli kind of thing in there, or maybe like a horseradishy aioli.
Love it.
You know, something with like a little kick, but not too much of it where it takes over. You know, it was really well done.
Just a hint.
Whatever it was
My mouth is watering as you're talking right now.
It was so good.
Yeah. I just want to be handed, I want to be brought a platter of a variety of
tiny
bite-size, delicious mouthfuls.
Kate, when, like, I think the happiest that Dan and I have ever been, no, that's not true. We've had a lot of wonderful moments. But there was one time that, like, the pure joy of it, we went to, like, when we were on our honeymoon, we were like, we're going to splurge, we're going to go to, like, a Michelin star restaurant. So we did, and we looked at the menu online ahead, and we were like, oh, like, this looks great. It's like, it's a tasting menu. It's going to be, oh, boy. And then we got there, and there were all these additional little amuse-bouches that, like, throughout the meal. But, like, there were 3 of them, like, bang, bang, bang right at the beginning. And it was just, like, I think we were both, like, in heaven.
Ecstasy, yeah.
Like, it's all happening.
It's amazing. And, like, the when it hits, like, all the different parts of your tongue, right? There's like acid, heat,
firing
salt,
on all cylinders,
fat. All of it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Complete meal in one bite, and then there's more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just
it's a food tease. It's a food tease.
Little food tease.
I love it.
Boy, that was a treat. That was a treat.
Can you say the restaurant? Or do you want to tell me offline? Because I want to.
I can tell you if I can remember the name of it. It was in Thailand, though.
Oh. Fuck you.
Sorry. Well, I left that off because I didn't want to be like, when Dan and I were in Thailand.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, that's like the worst when we were like, I love your purse, or I love your blah, blah. Like, where did you go? Like, where did you get that? And they're like, oh, it's this amazing thing in a faraway country you'll never be able to
I feel like I've been that jerk my whole life because I do so much of my shopping
in Thailand,
in Nova Scotia, in the, like, far off places. But, like, even in college, I'd be like, oh, it's from Canada, sorry.
It's the line from Parks and Rec this is such a deep cut, and it's only for people who are obsessed with it, like I am. But, like, they're talking to that phone book model, and, like, she's interviewed on one of the talk shows, and they were like, can I just say I love your hair? And she goes, thank you, it's genetic and unattainable. And I just think about that, like, all the time.
That's beautiful.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Satan.
Back to Satan. For anyone who is going to Bangkok for some reason, I mean, there's lots of good reasons to go to Bangkok, but if anyone's listening and going to Bangkok, it was called something like Sarabua by Kin Kin, SRA space BUA space BY space KIIN space KIIN.
Really good memory. I want all you folks to know that Emily did not read that off of anything. That was pulled from her brain.
Okay, but I did look it up recently because someone I was talking to was going to Bangkok. And I was like, okay. You gotta like, because it's, anyway, go to Bangkok if you have a chance. It's a wonderful
city. I really do want to go to Thailand. Yes, I really want to
Okay, let's just go together. It'll be fun.
Oh my gosh, should we do a Witchcast tour in Thailand? I'm sure we have a lot of listeners there. Yeah. Done and done. Okay, should we just dive in?
Yeah, we should do this.
I mean, after we chatted for 10 minutes.
I used to listen to the murder podcast that we love that I can't remember the name of for some reason at this time.
My Favorite Murder?
My Favorite Murder, yeah. My brain was like, How to Get Away with Murder. And I was like, that's not it, brain. And it was like, I don't know then.
I love when your brain's just like, I give up. I'm not.
I get.
You're on your own, kid.
I used to complain about how long their openings were, but now we are much less famous and talk just as much. So
right. It's hard. It's all so easy to point fingers until you get into the saddle yourself, right?
Yeah, we're friends. We can't just not talk.
Exactly. And also, I love it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, no.
And we've been upfront from the beginning that this is what this is.
This is friendship, man.
This is friendship. Okay. Well,
all right, we should do Satanism.
We'll dive in. Also, I was also going to be like, I think our chatting bits I like to try and keep them shorter on the shorter
I think they are probably shorter than that. They really do talk a lot. And
no hate towards the MFM ladies. We love them.
Yeah, they're the best that ever.
They're the OGs.
Podded a pod.
Okay, Satanism, and I took a little page from your book, and looked up the etymology of the word Satan, as in it was in Wikipedia. So I was like, I'm going to talk about this.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So let's talk about the etymology of Satan. So it was not originally actually ever a proper name. It was a noun. It was just a word to mean adversary. Mm-hmm. So throughout the Old Testament, you can find it used in several points. Like in the book of Samuel, David is presented as the Satan of the Philistines, the adversary of the Philistines. In the book of Numbers, the term appears as a verb, actually, when Jehovah sent out an angel to Satan Balaam. And again, prerequisite disclaimer, sorry for my mispronunciations. I'm trying. But yeah, meaning to oppose. So in the Old Testament, it was just a word. And then prior even to the composition of how we know the word Satan in the New Testament, the idea of Satan developed within Jewish communities and the Jewish faith that it was the name of an angel who had rebelled against Jehovah and been cast out of heaven along with his followers. And that was then incorporated into more contemporary texts like the Book of Enoch. And when Satan was, then that Satan, that, fallen angel, as we know, was featured in parts of the New Testament where he was presented as a figure to humans to, commit sin. Book of Matthew, Book of Luke. He attempted to tempt Jesus of Nazareth. We know that stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later. But also, interestingly, the whole, I'm getting ahead of myself. Because the whole, idea of him being, a horned, God, or being Lucifer, that didn't come till later either. And the idea of Satanism and Satan is, as we found with a lot of our more historic kind of topics, an amalgamation of a lot of different stories and beliefs and myths. The word the practice of Satanism, that term, that was adopted into English from the French word Satanisme. I don't know.
Is it just with an E on the end?
It's Satan, Isme.
Yeah, Satanism. No, Satanism. Satanism.
I took Spanish.
Yeah, you don't pronounce anything in French. Just forget all the letters. Satanism.
It's from the French word "sa."
Yeah, exactly.
That was those terms, Satanism and Satanists, are first recorded in English and French during the 16th century when they were used by Christian groups to attack other rival Christian groups. And so now let's get into that history, because I think that's really funny that honestly Satanism was really kind of picked up in popularity in the Middle Ages because it was about Christian sects kind of competing with other Christian sects. Like, for instance, in the Roman Catholic Tract of 1565, the author condemns the heresies, blasphemies, and satanismes of the Protestants. Same thing. Anabaptists and other Protestant sects are condemned as swarms of Satanists in an Anglican work in 1559. So in that matter, Satanism was not used as people who worship Satan. It was really just claiming that they had been derived from true Christianity, thus serving the will of Satan. So it was really, as always, as we've learned with religion, used as an othering term. In the 19th century, which I'll get into a little bit more, then that, and Emily will take that over then, it's used to describe leading a broadly immoral lifestyle. And then it wasn't until late 19th century it came to apply those who are actually believed to consciously and deliberately venerate Satan or worship Satan. So, backing up, that's the etymology as at top level. So backing up to the first time we actually see like a Satan figure is actually in the ancient Persian religion of Zoroastrianism. There's a lot of obviously, like in many of the ancient kind of early belief systems, mythologies, religious practices, there's always this kind of force of good, force of evil, right? And there was an entity known as Angra Mainyu, which was a figure that was, kind of seen as like this dark, I don't know if it's like trickster would be the right word, but like this kind of figure that would, tempt others into doing bad stuff. I just lost my notes on. Oh, here we go. It's evil thinking. Anyway.
Ooh.
Of Angra Mainyu again.
Cool.
So there was not an so this Angra Mainyu concept was embraced by early Judaism and early Christianity, and then it was kind of marginalized as time went on within Jewish practice, and it was really increased and gained importance within early Christian understandings and practices. So the early Christian idea of the devil was not really well developed until much, much later. And that was expanded through, like I said, the lots of different folklore, art, theological treatises, morality tales, books, poems, like literally it's just a lot of different ideas came to form our modern idea of the devil and Satan. So in medieval times and during early modern Christendom, the pagan gods and goddesses that were worshipped, which we've talked about in the past, the Christian theologians did not think they were genuine divinities, but rather demons, quotes around demons. And the devil and demons were given physical traits of figures from classic mythology, such as the god Pan, fawns, satyrs, the horns, as we talk about. And I'll get a little bit more into like actual Baphomet in a bit. But again, that was just kind of filtered through, pagan practices. The Christian groups that were regarded as heretics by our good friends at the Roman Catholic Church were treated differently. And they argued that they were deliberately worshiping the devil and that these individuals engaged in incestuous orgies, murdered infants, and were cannibals, which is funny because all of these were the same accusations that had been leveled at Christian groups themselves in the Roman Empire. So it's, again, just this whole kind of finger pointing.
What a world we live in.
I know. It's like, why can't we all just get along, guys? It's like the bully, like, that's like you get bullied and then you become popular and then you turn around and bully the next person, that kind of thing. But like on a much larger scale that involves death.
With murder.
Like murder. So the earliest recorded example of such an accusation like this took place in Toulouse in 1022. And there were 2 clerics who were tried for allegedly venerating a demon. And then throughout the Middle Ages, we know these accusations applied to a wide range of Christian heretical groups, including the Paulicians, the Bogomils, the Cathars, the Waldensians, and the Hussites. And the Knights of Templar, who I quickly looked up, were this group that kind of were supposed to be like these. And I was confused because I was like, wait, but these are Christian guys. Like, why are they being accused of being Satanists? But again, like, everyone was pointing fingers at each other. There was, like, a lot of discord among...
Back then, they didn't know that the Knights of Templar would end up in that Indiana Jones movie later that everybody likes.
Exactly. Confession, I've actually never seen an Indiana Jones movie.
Okay.
Or a 007 movie. And I've never seen The Sopranos. And I've never seen... what's that really famous other mafia movie with the G?
The Godfather?
It's like Gangbusters, Ghostbusters.
There's also Goodfellas, but
no.
Godfather is
I think I've seen Goodfellas. I haven't seen The Godfather.
Kate, I'm just watching The Sopranos for the first time right now. I'm on season 2.
I was thinking about doing that. I heard it's a good show to like just binge watch.
I'm really enjoying it, to be honest. Yeah, I do recommend.
Yeah. I have a whole theory about why I don't want to watch a Bond movie. I would watch Indiana Jones, I guess.
Indiana Jones is actually pretty good. The Bond movies, a couple of them are good, most of them are schlock. But at least 2 of the Indiana Jones movies are legitimately pretty good.
It's just hard to watch movies, especially older movies, as a woman, as a person of color. Like, it's just like... I feel left out, and I'm like, I don't care. Anyway, okay.
Well, but it's young Harrison Ford, and in one of them he fights Nazis. That's actually the one I would say you should watch, is just the one where he beats up a bunch of Nazis.
I would love that. And I do love Harrison Ford. So, okay, you've convinced me. But anyway, in reality, the Knights of Templar were supposedly, like, they were supposed to protect, because after the Crusades, and they took over Jerusalem from the Muslims who actually lived there. And we won't get into the Crusades right now, but their whole thing was like, we're supposed to protect the passage of Christians who want to go visit the Holy Lands, because Christians who were trying to go there after they snatch that land from the Muslims who live there were getting murdered. I think rightfully so, but whatever. I'm just an armchair critic over here. But anyway, they were like trying to
I'm going to call the leader of the Crusades and tell him he said that.
Do it. My Twitter's private. It's okay. Anyway, so these Knights of Templar were accused of worshiping an idol known as Baphomet. with Lucifer having appeared at their meetings in the form of a cat. And of course, these claims of being Satanists were also lobbied against Europe's Jewish community because, of course, everyone freaking picks on the Jews. And again, this was just kind of anything that was seen as not you're not following my particular sect of Christianity. You're not exactly like me. I hate you and you worship Satan. Gee, sounds familiar. Anyway. I just want to make sure I'm doing this like in linear order. Okay, so the idea of making a pact with Satan came later. It possibly could have derived from a misunderstanding from Augustine of Hippo's condemnation of augury on the Christian Doctrine pamphlet that he wrote in the late 4th century. He stated people who consulted augurs were entering quasi-pacts or covenants with demons. And the idea of a diabolical pact made with a demon became really popular across Europe in the story of Faust. Based maybe partly on the real life of Johann George Faust. Anyway, then after kind of we're in late medieval times, we're coming into early modern period. The Roman Catholic Church and the breakaway Protestant movement is like really button heads. It's not going well. There's the ensuing Reformation and Counter-Reformation. It's like dig into your like social studies, like, you know, or like religion. If you were like me and went to religion class, like those classes. But anyway, both Catholics and Protestants would accuse each other of deliberately being in league with Satan, which is super funny to me. And that's kind of within that context. And within that context, our more modern idea of Satan and Satanism emerged. Boo, boo, boo. I'm going to skip the whole thing about the witch trials because we've talked about it a lot. You guys
know about it. You're already worried.
Yeah. Exactly. So we don't need to really rehash that. It was really, really bad. We know that. And I'm not even talking about like the ones in Salem, Massachusetts. I'm talking about the witch trials like throughout all of Europe.
There were so many witch trials. They were just putting witches on trial for bing, bang, boom all over the place.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad. So, I'm trying to like, okay, so backing up to the 14th century poem, though, of Inferno, I did want to give my guy Dante a little shout out because he basically captures centuries of Christian belief and portrayed Satan as an evil monster. Again, like I said, a lot of this stuff is influenced by art. Like it literally is it's a poem. It's a book. But I highly recommend you read Inferno. I think it's very interesting. And the Romantics of the 17th century recast Satan as this kind of magnetic, admirable rebel, an anti-hero defying God's authoritarianism. In John Milton's epic 1667 poem Paradise Lost, it's kind of known for establishing this interpretation and seen as a pivotal moment in creative texts. In 1793, William Godwin wrote a treatise, An Enquiry Concerning Political Justice, which gave Milton's depiction in Paradise Lost that political kind of lens that we see it in now, that legitimacy. But going back to Baphomet, that enduring satanic symbol was actually created. Well, I don't know if it's created, but I think maybe like the modern idea of it was like, because I mentioned people thought that the Knights of Templar worship Baphomet. Anyway, Eliphas Levi wrote a 1854 book called Dogme et Ritual, which linked Baphomet with Satan. So I think that's kind of where we again that's why artists are killed first. Okay, so but that's so this is why I want to flip between articles, because what I thought was really interesting is when the Knights of Templar were accused of worshiping Baphomet, it could possibly have been a misinterpretation of the French word for Muhammad. So there might have, in the 14th century, it might have had it had nothing to do with Baphomet at all. And like obviously
misunderstanding.
If you're in an Islamic area, like Muhammad's gonna come up anyway. I thought that was funny. I didn't dive any deeper into that, but I was like, whoops. Yeah. See?
What a world.
Classic miscommunication. Snafu.
Classic hijinks.
So in the later half of the 19th century, there's definitely this like I said, this view of Satan as an anti-hero. Italian poet Giuseppe Carducci's anti-papal hymn to Satan had a big hand in that, along with William Blake's illustrations in Paradise Lost, like I mentioned. In his own book, William Blake wrote The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. He presented Satan as a messiah. And around that same time, Theosophical Society founder Madame Blavatsky wrote about Satan as a commendable insurgent offering humans wisdom. British novelist in the early 20th century, am I jumping ahead? I feel like my timeline's all over the place, and I'm sorry. Okay, so Dennis Wheatley produced a range of influential novels where his protagonists battled satanic groups. At the same time, nonfiction authors like Montague Summers and Rollo Ahmed published books claiming that satanic groups practiced black magic, and they were still active all over the world. In the 1950s, British tabloid newspapers repeated such claims. And I won't go too far into this because I think Emily's going to talk a lot about this. So I'll skip this 1973 thing. But anyway, my whole point in just mentioning all this is that like a lot of fictional work had many big hands in creating this idea of Satan and Satanism that still persists today, which Emily will then go on to discuss more. But I just thought that was really interesting because I'm like, all of this stuff, like Dante's Inferno is a fucking poem. Like, it's not real, and like, anyway. So it's just crazy to me that like, if someone goes on about Satan, you can just tell them.
It created like this cultural idea of Satan that didn't even necessarily exist.
Like, it wasn't even a thing.
Religious stuff. It was just like, it kind of just got mixed in.
Yeah. It like a lot of the kind of early religious stuff that we like have talked about, I think is so loaded, right? Because it literally started as a term meaning other or against or adversary, like enemy.
Yeah. And which actually, put a mental pin in that because we're going to talk about it in just a sec also.
Exciting. Okay. So a couple other brief things I'll mention before I hand it over to you. And I am going to talk about Aleister Crowley, but one sec. So artists in the because we always have to bring up our boy Aleister.
We got to talk Crowley.
Okay. Crowley.
Crowley.
Okay. So artists in the Decadent movement placed satanic imagery in their paintings. They were influenced by writers like Baudelaire. How do you pronounce his name again?
Anyway. Baudelaire? I don't know.
Yeah. And Poe. Obviously, we know Edgar Allan Poe. And Satan was also used in writings from socialist leaders like Karl Marx and Mikhail Bakunin. Bakunin? I don't know. Okay. Polish author Stanislaw Przybyszewski wrote 2 books about Satan in 1897, one fiction and one nonfiction. His Satan was an anarchist with a comprehensive philosophy that's similar to modern Satanism, actually. So then let's just talk about Aleister Crowley, and then I'll get out of here and let Emily take over. What's interesting to me is that our guy Aleister, which if we've talked about him in several other past episodes, so please check it out. He was a British occultist, and he was widely described as a Satanist, but it's actually, he never himself called himself a Satanist. It was always by his detractors, by his critics. He did not claim to worship Satan. He did not even accept the Christian worldview where Satan existed. But he was, as we know, an impish little smartass and liked to use imagery considered satanic and really use that symbology to his advantage and kind of stir the pot and in his work to make it sexy. I don't know. I don't know.
Sexy. Intent, that's the Crowley way.
That's the Crowley way. He described himself as the B666. He referred to the Whore of Babylon in his work, and he even sent anti-Christmas cards to his friends, which I just love that. Honestly, might start doing that. Nothing against Christmas, just because I think it's funny. even though he is not a Satanist, people, notable people have said that he embodies the pre-Satanist esoteric discourse and was an important influence on the later development of Satanism. And also he did also write a poem, a hymn to Lucifer. But he swears he's not a Satanist. That was published in 1913, celebrating the devil as the provider of soul and rebellion to the universe. But yeah, he said he was not a Satanist. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like people confusing the concept of Satanism with the concept of like Wiccan or witchcraft, which is like if it's not God worship, it's automatically devil worship.
Yes, exactly. I think that too. And also like Satanism as we know it today, I'm sure he would totally be part of that and have his own church of that and like whatever. Like I could totally see him, like I'm sure you'll talk about it, like, but modern Satanism probably totally falls in line with a lot of his beliefs, which is why he was so influential. But back then, like Satanism wasn't even a thing. It was like you're either a devil worshiper, evil it was still just kind of like calling someone a witch or whatever. And one last thing I'll say is that the German group Fraternitas Saturni. Okay, sorry guys. It looks like Fraternity Saturn. Anyway, in 1920s, my tongue just decided to stop working. In 1926, the founder, Gregorius, which, what a great name, wrote
what a name.
Saturnische Magi, which borrowed heavily from the Romantics and adopted Satan within the group's astrological system, equating this is why I can't talk. It connects Satan to Saturn, claiming that the planet related to the sun in the same manner that Lucifer relates to the human world, and Saturn is actually retrograde right now. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Fun fact.
Yeah, there's more about the Brotherhood of the Golden Arrow. It goes on and on and on. Honestly, guys, it's I don't know. You guys want to get to the good, sexy stuff, which Emily's going to talk about, but it's all over the place. Nothing's consistent, and if you want to take anything from my section, nothing's real and it's all made up. Okay.
Yep. That's about right.
So over to you, Em.
Thanks. I need to pause for 1 second, or I'm not going to actually pause the recording, but I'm just going to run into the other room to check to make sure we have shrimp in the freezer.
Ooh, shrimp.
Be right back. Sorry.
Okay. It's okay. This episode is brought to you by goats. Are you sick of being misaligned and misunderstood? Do you like to eat anything that's put in front of you, from tin cans to weed, like growing weeds? Do you wish you had a cuddly animal that liked to climb and jump but pooped constantly, no matter what, from a very wide anus? Then you should have a goat. Goats. Nature's misunderstood, semi-like dogs animal, not related to Satan. Back to the episode.
Beautiful. Thank you. We do, in fact, have shrimp in the freezer, if you were curious.
Oh, good. Oh, I was on the edge of my seat, honestly.
All right, so let's talk Satanism in the modern era. So where I pick up kind of disconnects a little bit from the history stuff, but there's, I think we'll figure out together how it all connects.
It's all this, because my history stuff's boring. It's not boring. It's all the same kind of thing, though. It's just different people saying they like Satan or not. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, and so that's a lot of it. All right. So really, when you're talking about Satanism in the modern era, you're talking about three different things. Actually, arguably four different things. The first one is theistic Satanism or Luciferianism, which is like the actual worship of the Christian concept of the devil as an entity, like the worship of Lucifer or like Satan, the devil. This is not actually super common. There's like a lot of different like little religions around it, but there's no like one major sect in terms of like what it means to be a person who actually worships Lucifer or worships Satan as like that concept. It's really considered like, because it's like a Christian heresy, it's still technically a kind of Christianity. It's just like a Protestantism kind of Christianity to like worship the flip side of it.
Oh, that's so funny. I want to find someone who worships Lucifer and be like, that's so Christian of you, and just watch their face.
To believe in Lucifer, yeah. But like, it's true. A lot of other people don't even believe him in the first place. Anyway, so the thing is, this stream of Satanism has, not everyone, but like broad strokes. There's a lot of people with strong ties to like neo-Nazis and neo-fascism in the most modern iteration of like, womp womp, of theistic Satanism. Although not all of them do. Like, it's really a many and varied field. You could talk about the different beliefs and sects of theistic Satanism for like a whole episode if you wanted. There's so much to go down to. It really varies, or go into it. Like, it really varies from like, oh god, yikes, to oh, kind of neat. So I'd say the main takeaway is really just like, for this one section would be like, definitely Google any order of any kind of Satanist or Luciferianism you encounter before walking into their space or engaging in any sort of discussion with them, because they could be anything from nice socialists and like to like hardcore Marxists to Swedish death metal people who believe in chaos above all, or fucking Nazis. So I'm not even gonna like bother to get into the different beliefs and belief systems, because it would take us like an entire season of Witchcast.
Yeah.
So that's one kind, but like I said, it's a lot of smaller groups. There's no like, this is not the big, like when you think about Satanism, there isn't really like a united front there. So let's just not even worry about it right now. But definitely do your Googling if you come across any Satanists. Anyway. So then the second sort of stream in discussing modern Satanism is non-theistic Satanism. And this would be more like probably the closest thing we have to like an inheritance from like what Aleister Crowley was up to in terms of Satanism, but he really wasn't a Satanist. That he just like, in terms of like people who actually are sort of in line with that, non-theistic Satanism is probably the closest to what he was talking about. This is probably the more known organized religion version of Satanism. It's basically Satanism that doesn't worship the devil himself as an entity at all. It doesn't even believe in him. It's in fact using Satanism as, take that pin out of the wall, Satan sourced from the Hebrew root of the word as opposer, or one who questions.
Love that.
Yeah, they position themselves as like questioners, depending on, there's a few different, again, religions or churches within even non-theistic Satanism, but like broadly they position themselves as being like challenging the church, challenging, you know, like cultural norms of the church, like especially of the Christian church, but like also more just sort of as like atheistic people who are questioning and being into, anyway. So this sect of Satanism picks up pretty much where Kate left off, with a guy named Anton Sander LaVey. He established the Church of Satan in 1966, and in 1969 he wrote a text called the Satanic Bible that outlined sort of this new idea of this non-theistic Satanism. And direct quote from Wikipedia, believers have been described as atheistic Satanists because they believe that God and Satan are not external entities at all, but rather projections of an individual's own personality, benevolent and stabilizing forces in their life. So the Church of Satan is still around today. LaVey was a high priest until his death in 1997. It has now split into two factions because his daughters were both high priestesses at the time of his death. And essentially after his death, they had like a big rift. And one of them is still in California, where the original Church of Satan was started. And but that's now called the First Satanic Church, because the other daughter got the naming rights after like this big lawsuit. It got ugly, I think.
Yeah, I saw that. Crazy.
And the Church of Satan, with the original name, has moved to New York. These two versions are like fairly individualistic. They don't really get into politics. They do things like weddings and funeral rites, you know, like kind of non-church stuff. The Church of Satan, as it is in New York, is interestingly pretty like militant about like them being the only true Satanism. But like I said, there was like a big lawsuit and stuff, and they're like, I think that's kind of more interpersonal bullshit than it is like, they really, I mean, that's personal conjecture, but they as a church reject the legitimacy of any other organization who claims to be Satanists. That said, the third major org in the non-theistic Satanism like stream of modern Satanism is my very biased personal favorite, and this is the Satanic Temple. So their beliefs are sort of along the same lines as the Church of Satan, but they're kind of a funnier, more active, more maybe like evolved version of Satanism, like kind of a modern Satanism, if you will. I highly recommend checking out thesatanictemple.com just to find out what they're about and to like understand.
Yeah.
It's so fun. But they do things like they do pro-Planned Parenthood counter protests. They sponsor an after-school Satan program as like in response to after-school Christian programs.
Love that.
One of my personal favorites is that when Junipero Serra was canonized by Pope Francis, they held a counter ceremony demonizing him, stating that I'm not saying his last name right, Serra, maybe it's 2 R's, so it's like Spanish. But anyway, he helped enslave thousands of Native Americans, and he led the Spanish Inquisition in his territories, so they demonized him when the Pope made him a saint. They were basically, so basically their thing is pointing out, like, religious privileges given to Christianity and just like things kind of effed up in Christianity and countering them. So they, a lot of times when people say, like when new abortion restrictions come in, people say, well, someone should sue them for my freedom of religion. Like, I believe that it's not a crime. And they're the people that actually do that.
Yeah.
They come in and sue you sue
great.
people over abortion restrictions because it's a restriction on their religious freedom, which is super cool.
Yeah.
So I would definitely do a little Google of them. They're kind of like a combination of like church and theater a little bit. Like it's sort of was like radical street performance kind of stuff.
Yes. Didn't they also recently, they were in the news, they've been in the news a lot lately, of course, with a lot of this like Roe v. Wade stuff, but like they got a statue to get torn down in front. I'm just like, I can't remember, but there was like a religious statue that was up, and then they ended up getting that torn down because it was on like a city hall property or like in front of a political building, and they were like, well, if you're gonna have, we're supposed to be a country that's separate of church and state, but we're a religion, so you should put up a statue of Baphomet or like Satan or whatever. If you're gonna,
Yeah, and I think that they've gotten like statues of Satan or Baphomet and stuff put up in places before. Or maybe they just have one, but like, exactly. They just sort of point out that stuff and do the actual work to get it undone, which is neat. Yeah. I realized you had mentioned a 1973 book that I don't have information on, but maybe you can scream if I'm glossing over something that you know a secret about.
I don't know though. There's like so much. like I was reading some other stuff, and there's like you said, there's a lot of these groups that kind of have offshoots, and then they became kind of gross. Like, I don't know if you came across Herbert Sloan in your research, the Our Lady of Endor Coven, that was a satanic group based in Toledo, Ohio in 1969, but I think they were actually like anti-Semitic. You know what I mean?
A bunch of them are. There's like, I don't know, there's definitely like one interpretation of Satanism that's pretty fucked up.
But they had no real impact. Like, but I glossed over them because a lot of these kind of have died out. And like what you're talking about is the stuff that's still really common that is actually happening today.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to worry about it then. It was just if there's a major movement, but if not, then skip it. If they're neo-Nazis, they don't need the information about their religion out there anyway. Okay, so then moving on to the third version of Satanism that we really need to talk about in the modern era, which is the one that doesn't exist. It actually, as you can probably guess, takes its roots in like all of the last 2,000 years, basically. But really, most relevantly, we had the Satanic Panic in the 1980s and 90s, and arguably still through to today. But we'll talk about that in a second. So the Satanic Panic. This is another thing that could pretty much be its own series. Yes. But here we are giving a brief overview. Basically, it's pretty much now agreed that in retrospect, there were a few forces that came together to create the Satanic Panic as it was when it was. And this, in case you really have never heard of the Satanic Panic before and are just hearing these words for the first time, basically in the 1980s, a lot of people started to believe that satanic cults were like hidden throughout the suburbs of America and freaked the fuck out. That's the long and short of it. So basically it's pretty much agreed that the things that came together to create it were first, in the Western world, particularly the US was going through, which is where the Satanic Panic thing really took hold, was the US. So it was going through a phase where women were in the workforce more, while conservatism was kind of doubling down on the concept of the nuclear family. So you had like a lot of unease and guilt, and then especially a lot of unease around like daycare and that kind of thing, like kid programs. Second, you had a culture that had never really reckoned with the idea of child abuse or like sexual abuse of minors. kind of starting to realize that not only was it a thing, but they didn't know how to talk about it. They didn't know how to look for it. They didn't know, like, a lot of people didn't understand how it could happen, and so on and so forth. And then, so the third, you had, in 1980, this kind of dubious book came out called Michelle Remembers, which was purported to be a true story of a woman who had suffered abuse at the hands of murderous Canadian Satanists.
Yes, those good old murderous Canadian Satanists. Mm-hmm.
If you actually, when people actually started looking into the facts of the book, it pretty quickly fell apart in terms of how true it was, but it was enough combined with everything else to start a big bad fire. So yeah, when people think of Satanic Panic, they really think, I feel like a lot of people think of like parents being afraid of Dungeons and Dragons, but in reality, as well as that, there were around 12,000 abuse allegations relating to satanic cults reported to the FBI and local police departments over the course of about 12 years. And of them, not a single one was ever substantiated.
Yeah, how ironic that the call was literally coming from inside the house and the child abuse was coming from the church.
I know, isn't that crazy? What a world.
I have a theory about the Satanic Panic, too, because as a true crime lover, the 70s was known for having, I mean, besides, you're coming out of this hippie, free love, really progressive kind of like, and throughout American history, at least, I know, like, from my armchair, I can see that we go through phases of incredible progress and then really restrictive conservatism, right? Like, it's like every couple decades we reel it in and then let loose. So, which, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So you have this whole hippie love kind of era of the 60s and 70s, and there was a lot of serial killers in the 70s. That was like really big. And I think that was also kind of like a big wake up call of like, oh shit, we can't just like let our kids outside unsupervised. We can't, even though that happened, of course, well through the 90s and whatever, but like, you know, this whole idea of like, wait, children should be watched, like we shouldn't hitchhike anymore, like, and then you have like the conservative capitalism of the Reagan era then like clenching down, like you said, the re-upping of the like nuclear family and family morals and values. It's just like we kind of just all went and like it was very easy to point fingers.
Yeah,
I feel.
Yeah. And we can talk about this after also, but I feel like it's so important to talk about this now because we are 100% going back into, we got super far forward progressive, and now it's like we're pulling all the way back.
I mean, honestly, I feel like my theory is that 9/11 actually really, really fucked with us in a major, major way as a country. I think the 90s were actually going towards, even though, of course, there was definitely issues in the 90s, we were going towards kind of a very more progressive, emboldened, you know, honoring and like supporting diversity, women's rights, etc. And then like 9/11 just scared the shit out of everyone and back to conservatism. And we had a little break of it with Obama.
Yeah, I was going to say, like 9/11 like created this. It also like there was like a break in. I mean, I'm sure there was always like this, but between like the 24-hour news cycle shit and all that started around 9/11, and then it has created like this fork in realities in the US where it's like a lot of us were living in like this, I mean, you know, with bad stuff too, Entourage happened, but like but yeah, like Obama was elected and then he was reelected and it felt like things were moving forward, and I think it was part of why the Trump thing was so shocking to a lot of people was like, I mean, if you were listening, it was always there, but it was just like that, like we're not living on the same, like some people are out here like this is going great, like more Obama, more like next up Hillary Clinton or whatever, you know, but the reality was a lot of people were sitting there going, this is getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
Which is
but
no, that's why I also feel like the progress that we made during the Obama years was like, and a lot of people complained about that, especially in his first term, of that like it was too slow and not enough progress, because he was basically like, I'm making he had to claw his way towards any sort of, he was being held back by a conservative House and Senate, you know, like no one wanted him to succeed. I feel like anyway, we could go on about the GOP. I'm not good. Let's not talk about it.
Back to
you guys get it. Oh, also, while I have the mic for a second, I do want to put out a disclaimer. I was wrong. So the Herbert Sloan guy, the Our Lady of Endor Coven that I mentioned, he was focused on the metaphysical aspect of Satan, and they had like service, communion, coffee, donuts. He also had naked women in his meetings. So that's probably why I was like, okay. The one that was anti-Semitic is the Order of the Nine Angles, which was formed in England in 1970s. They practice occult-focused Satanism. And they wrapped up, you know, kind of UFO conspiracies and anti-Semitism into their idea of Satanism, which is
and there's also there's a neo-Nazi one also called like Our Joy of Satan or something like that. But
anyway.
Anyhow, so back to the Satanic Panic. People served time in jail. The police had flyers that were calling out like feminist astrologers as possible Satanists. It was like a whole
of course.
Cultural moment. It was okay. Well, get this. The McMartin preschool case was, at 6 years long and $16 million, one of the longest and most expensive criminal cases ever tried in the United States. It ended in a complete acquittal of charges for all involved in 1990. It started in 1983, and it was this insane long thing where they had children like testifying on the stand about how they'd like seen goat men and blood sacrifices. Which is, you want to talk about modern day Salem witch trials? And
I have not heard
history
about this.
Repeating itself? Yeah.
Wild.
Like, it's wild. I can't believe, I mean, I guess we're just like, we're born at the end of the 80s, so what do we know? Yeah. But apparently this is happening. And so all that hubbub was about a religion that never existed. They never found like any proof whatsoever about any of this. And it's really worth talking about now because, as you've probably noticed, this conspiracy thinking never really went away. Even though people were acquitted and we kind of moved on, the whole idea of child-abusing, murderous secret cabals of devil worshippers might be something that you've heard recently somewhere else. We're still pretty much dealing with this shit. There's a really interesting NPR piece from All Things Considered about the direct line from the Satanic Panic to QAnon, same problem, new face, that I would recommend checking out. So what we do about it, I don't know. That's the state of Satanism today. But seeing it for what it is, as a legacy of fear and hysteria that really spans thousands of years, is worth talking about, especially for us witches and, you know, the witch curious. Except there is, of course, the possible fourth stream of modern Satanism, which is the television show Lucifer, which...
Is it good?
There is one more. There is one more Lucifer, or one more Satanism worth talking about, and it's people who love Lucifer, which so as you were talking, I realized is kind of based on like the Milton Paradise Lost version of Lucifer, where he's like an anti-hero kind of character. He fights crime with the LAPD to keep his strip club open. I don't know. The whole show is insane. If you're looking into Satanism, why not toss an episode of Lucifer in there while you're at
it? That's so funny. I mean, you know, I do need a new show to watch.
It's terrible. I've seen like 6 episodes, and every single one, the LAPD officer that he's working with is like, I just don't understand how you do it. And he's like, I'm Lucifer, you know, the devil from hell. And she's like, I just don't understand. It's like magic. And he's like, yeah, because I'm literally the devil. I'm from hell. I'm Lucifer. And everyone around is like, well, I guess we'll never know.
That's so funny. Matt's been watching this show about hell that stars Henry Zabrowski from Last Podcast on the Left. Do you know this show? I need to look it up. I don't remember what it's called. It's very...
Is it like a sketchy kind of show?
Yes.
I mean, sketch type? Is it Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell?
It's Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. Thank you. Good job. You win.
Thank you. I get a sticker.
You get a sticker.
I've never seen it. I've just heard the name, and it's,
Matt
it's
loves
a sticky
it.
name, you know?
I like it. It's very dark humor, and like they really lean into this. It's so funny because I think we're so conditioned in television and media that nice things, good things happen. You know, like it's just, they really go the opposite. Like whatever is the most horrible, the most awful that they do to each other, to other people, like it's all terrible, but like so purposefully, it shocks me because like it just goes against my instincts, I guess, as a viewer, and I'm like, oh wow, that's really funny. Like that's just like really bad. Like everything's bad. It's gross.
Interesting.
It's definitely gross.
I was gonna watch it because at one point I wrote a workplace comedy pilot set in hell, where it was like the administrators of hell.
Yes.
Who are themselves therefore in hell.
Right. You should watch it though. Then, especially if you are considering, because it's a very similar.
No, that was a long time ago. Yeah. It was that show came out, and I was like, oh, I guess they got it first. I'll just have to live with that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you could do it better, but that's just because I love you.
Oh, thanks. I love you too. I'm sure you could do it better.
Yeah, maybe. I actually did do a whole, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before, but my first full-length play and only full-length play I've ever written was a whole modern retelling of Dante's Inferno.
Whoa.
And it's like two bros who have like an epic night in New York City. It's one of those like, dude, where's my car type of stories where they just, or Harold and Kumar, I think is probably a better one example, where they just kind of go on an epic adventure, and each place they go that their story takes them is inspired by one of the circles of hell.
Kate, that's so funny. I want to see that as a movie.
Also, I mean, I wrote it in like 2010, I want to say. So the Satan is Sarah Palin. So
honestly, also would still hold up. She was on The Masked Singer like last season.
Oh my god, I cannot.
Because The Masked Singer is the most cursed show on television.
Wasn't Giuliani on one of those like reveal shows? Was it Masked Singer again?
Yeah, it was also The Masked Singer, and like Ken Jeong walked out.
Yes, yes, yeah. They love the drama. They love the drama. Of course, people are gonna tune in to see that. Yeah.
That show is deeply unhinged. It's like, if you want to talk about something dystopic, that is an insane show.
Yes,
I can't believe it exists. Yeah, and like now there's like spin-offs that are more insane versions of the same thing.
I love the one that's like, can you beat what's that app with the
Shazam?
Yeah, can you beat Shazam? They like, you have to identify the song before your phone app to win.
Yeah, fight the computer.
Or like finish the lyric. There's so many of those out there now. They're literally a dime a dozen. And Matt's always like, why? I'm like, dude, money. They cost nothing to make. They make a lot of money. They have a lot of advertisers. Yeah. It's stupid. It's so capitalist. Whatever.
Oh yeah, and The Masked Singer has like ad breaks every 30 seconds. It's insane. It's
that's how they make money. I mean, like it costs practically nothing. Although I will say the one thing I like about The Masked Singer, I don't watch it regularly, but like I have watched a couple episodes. Mm-hmm. I highly recommend being on drugs for it. And then the costume design, love. Oh yeah, I mean, listen,
it's the
so beautiful.
Costumes are very cool. I watched the whole first season just because I was like, I started it and I was like, this is insane. This is like a Japanese game show for American television kind of thing. You know,
it is a lot like a Japanese game
show. And
also
like, of course, we should be making the celebrities fight for our love.
Yes.
Like, you know, why are we competing?
Honestly, that's a great perspective on that. I also want to give a shout out to my new favorite reality show, The Floor is Lava, on Netflix.
Interesting. I have not watched that yet.
So great. It's so dumb. They have like, the second season just dropped, and so you can binge it. It's on Netflix. Highly recommend. No commercials, but it's basically global guts for adults. And they have to go through these giant obstacle courses with lots of foam padding, like giant furniture, but all of it is submerged in like 3 foot of bubbly, gacky red water that's lava. And this is essentially the kids show, the kids game that The Floor is Lava, but as a game show. It's great.
Incredible.
It's dumb. It's dumb and it's fun. And you get to watch adults just like beef it on like, you know, rubber shit. Anyway.
That sounds incredible. Oh no, yeah. The last thing I wanted to say about The Masked Singer is that the first season there was a person who was the monster. I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, don't give it away.
For some reason people start watching the show.
That might be me.
But the monster's performance of Stay With Me is something that I rewatch. I don't know.
Is it beautiful?
I cannot explain.
Did it give you feelings?
It gives me feelings. I'm going to send you the link after this. I am going to recommend we put it on the Witchcast website, but I will not require
No, we could totally do that. I'll put it on the Witchcast website. I don't have problems with that. Like, I turned it on as a joke for Matt, and then we got both sucked into it. Like, it works really well. Like, they know what they're doing. With all of these shows, they know how to tease and entice you to stay and get you invested. They know it's a well-oiled machine. It works very well.
Yeah.
So no judgment. I mean, gosh, people love the Kardashians for a reason, you know?
Yeah. Oh, boy. What a world. All right. Well, so that's Satanism.
I mean, honestly, what a better way to wrap up a talk about Satanism than talk about reality television for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the thing about the Satanic Temple, about the statues, I found the thing about it. So they gained notoriety after 2 attempts. Well, they've gained notoriety for a lot of things. But they had 2 attempts to have a statue of Baphomet legally placed on 2 state capitol grounds, Oklahoma in 2015 and Arkansas in 2018, in reaction to government-sanctioned 10 Commandments statues, which I love it. Just pointing out the hypocrisy is like beautiful.
It's so great. Yeah.
Go check out the Satanic Temple.
Yeah, but don't confuse them with all of the other ones.
Right.
That's the one thing, is that there's such a wide variety of things that are Satanism, much like there's a wide variety of things that are witchcraft.
Exactly.
Just always do your Google.
Yeah.
Do your little research,
do
Google.
Do your research. Nothing is the same. Nothing is all one thing.
Time is an infinite flat circle.
Yeah, these are the lessons you must learn on this Witchcast podcast, the show that gives you a little taste. Oh, Emily, I have really good news.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have exciting news for me.
Okay.
I got a new tarot deck.
Mazel tov.
It's called the Gentle Tarot.
Cute.
So I found out about this. It's by the artist. Their Instagram is Mari in the Sky. I'll link them in our Instagram too, because I'm obsessed with their work. And it's a indigenous-made, hand-drawn tarot deck filled with imagery influenced by life in the remote Alaska wilderness.
Whoa.
It's an open door for self-healing. When we truly believe in ourselves, we are powerful, potent beings. And it's just gorgeous. I bought the version that comes in a little tin. They're like so small. They're like pocket size, but I think their pronouns are she, her. They have like a lot of they have like a linen version and then they're coming out with a big guidebook I'm also gonna get as well that has like beautiful illustrations and spreads and meditations in it.
Oh boy, that looks so cool.
Yeah, I found out about Mari in the Sky because our friends at Six Sad Girls were holding a contest where you could enter to win a free tarot deck from like 8 different creators. And I totally entered it. I did not win, which is okay. But I was Mari in the Sky was one of those tarot creators, and I was just so drawn to those illustrations like right away. They're beautiful. They're like watercolor-esque. Yeah, so I was like, well, I didn't win. I'm going to buy it anyway.
That's such a great thing. What a wonderful thing to come out of that contest.
Right, exactly. So anyway.
I'm also really glad you brought this up because I totally forgot how we end the show for a second there. I was like lost.
Well, so shall I draw a card from my brand new... I literally just got it in the mail today. I have not even done a reading for myself. I just shuffled the cards. They have these beautiful foil gold edges, and they're like kind of rainbow when you...
Yeah.
They were in actual rainbow order, and then I was sad because I had to shuffle them. But this is not sponsored, guys. This is just purely out of love. So you can always trust us when it comes to our recommendations.
Yeah, we never get sponsors, so don't worry about it.
We don't make money. Not yet. Okay, I'm just gonna pull one out at random. Ooh, I got the Hierophant.
Hey!
And it's these 2 awesome looking birds.
Yeah, birds.
These crows. And so, well, I don't have the guidebook yet. It's coming out still. So I don't know what Mari's interpretation is, but we can talk about the Hierophant generally.
Yeah, it's the 5th card in the Major Arcana. Or it's really number 5, but it's really the 6th card in the Major Arcana because the Fool is 0. So they're like, they represent like spiritual wisdom, religious beliefs, conformity, tradition, institutions, beliefs, freedoms, challenging the status quo if reversed. But basically, yeah, it's like you got a pope, you got a teacher. They're like the masculine counterpart to the high priestess.
Yeah, it's formal. It's like it's not kind of fluid study. It's more about like going back and studying the basics and really delving deep into a subject, but from a trusted mentor.
Yeah, this could be your sign to find someone who knows what they're talking about
versus listening to us. No.
We're like your high priestess who's here to hang out, like we're number 3 or 2 in the but a Hierophant is like, oh, like some formal religion if you're into that, which
something that's established.
But really in terms of a reading, this could be like a suggestion to work with a teacher, mentor, or guide to teach you about spiritual values and beliefs in a structured way. Or it could just represent like an authority in your life or like a generous mentor who nurtures your spirituality. It could be like a little high from whoever that is. It's basically just like, it's encouraging you to, spiritual or not, like learn fundamental principles of whatever you're working on or your own belief systems. And then like, you know, make your own choices after like getting stuff from a trusted guide, friend.
Yeah.
Mentor.
Well said.
Person.
I think that's totally right. And like I'll post a picture of course of this beautiful card, of course, when we post it on Instagram. But this is my instinct of these two birds also makes me think of this maybe it's not even a specific person in your life. It could be something a journey you're embarking on, like Emily said, but just one that you're kind of being a bit more methodical about and really trying to do all of your research, get all of the info that you need to really approach it from a very like fully understanding position.
Yeah. And I feel like the card is also like, it's very coloring inside the lines. It's very like, yeah, what you were saying about it's like structure. It's like, you know.
But not so much like, well, I guess, yeah, is the Hierophant the one that's... Oh, sorry, you can just delete all this. I don't know. No, leave it in. It's fine. I'm getting confused now within my major arcana of like... Because there's one that's all about like rules and structure. This is this card, right?
Yeah, or it's like group membership, being part of an institution. Now I'm just looking at Biddy. But like group membership, part of an institution, well-established belief systems. You know, it could be like about finding comfort and being surrounded by people who have belief systems and values, or it could be about like exploring a new church or religious group, or even just like any other new community or group. It can be a lot of different things. I mean, all the tarot cards can be a lot of different things, but it's like, yeah, it can be about tradition. It can be about ritual, but yeah, it's very like, it either is about following the rules or about like your relationship to those structures and rules and feelings and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, this is the card that I was thinking of. Although, you know, it's funny. I think this is actually a really interesting card to pull on an episode about Satanism.
I know, right?
I think that's actually really, really relevant. And then also, I had to look this up too. So quickly, the journey goes the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, and then we get to the Hierophant. And then Lovers, Chariot, etc. We've talked about this before. We know all this. You know all this. You guys got it.
Yeah, you know it. You don't need us to tell you.
Yeah, no, this was the test. Oh, you passed.
You passed. Congratulations.
Good job. We knew the whole time. But anyways, so yeah, I think that'll do it. We'll post, like I said, on our Instagram, photo of this card and also tag the beautiful tarot designer and creator. And we'll post some links, more about this on our website at witchcastpodcast.com. And if you like us, you know, give us a little review.
What's that? A review, you say?
Yeah.
Why, I think I will. I'll hop on down and click that little button.
It takes like 2 seconds and it means the world to us, and you might get a social shout out. We try to, you know, highlight those that come through because it really does mean a lot to us and helps other people find us. And I just saw now on Spotify, you can also review podcasts and rate them.
Oh, nice. So yeah, if you're listening on Spotify right now, guess what? You're on the hook too. Go find No, thank you guys so much for everyone who has done that ever. And like, even if you just like to listen and never want to review, we love you anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks for being around.
We just like appreciate it. It really, yeah. It means a lot that it's not just us talking into a void.
Yeah, it can be hard to tell because most of the time we're just talking to each other.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Wait, before, on that note though, I wanted to give like a couple quick shout outs because we had like some fun messages come through, and sorry if you DM us on Instagram, sometimes I don't see them right away because it goes into that other folder.
Yeah, I have like a hidden request within my hidden requests folder. It's very...
Oh, that's so confusing.
If you get hidden in the like requests and then like hidden requests folder, yes. It's never coming through. Yes. It takes me like months to find them.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. So thank you. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Emily Schmidt wanted to tell us to talk about the Doctor Strange movie. We don't have time for that right now. Maybe next episode.
We will. Yeah,
but we can. Have you seen the Doctor Strange?
No, movie? I haven't watched it yet. Have you watched it?
Oh, yes, I have. And I also saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. Have you seen that?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet, but that's the next. We're doing that first. I'm sorry for Doctor Strange.
No, fuck Doctor Strange, honestly. Whatever. You watch it and you can come to your own conclusion. But I am, my husband's a big Marvel fan, and I am through dating him as well. And obviously I love...
You sound like me. The same problem. Oh, yeah. I've seen every single thing Marvel's ever done. Yeah. And I enjoyed
because I'm in a relationship with a cishet man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love Wanda. I love my girl Wanda. So anyway, yeah, go see Doctor Strange. But more importantly, see Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you want to wait till it comes out to streaming, it's coming to streaming, I believe, June 13th. Or June 12th?
I was going to say, I thought it was like tomorrow, but yeah,
or maybe it's tomorrow. It's this week. I don't know what. It's very soon.
Yeah, it's soon, right?
I do recommend, of course, always love seeing movies in theaters. Want to, of course, support Asian creators and like get those box office numbers up. And A24, of course, is such an amazing production company. I mean, they're doing fine, but you know, and I think it looks amazing on the big screen. But if not, definitely stream it. You have to see it either way. I think it does really well with a light gummy where you're not like super high, but like just enough to focus and hone in and like really take it all in. But also just watch it sober. That's great too. It's a lot. It's 9 movies in one. It's completely... Every time you think you got it figured out, it just like surprises you again. I don't know. I can't stop raving about it.
I'm so excited to watch it. Yeah.
Especially like...
Dan and I have been talking about it for like months that we're going to go see it. We just keep not getting
See it this week. Try and find time to or like when it comes to streaming, definitely see it because I heard such great things about it and then I went in and for me at least, I was still blown away by it. You know? Yeah. Do you get what I mean? And then also like I finished my psychic development class with Emily Grote and oh, by the way, she sent me a little certificate. I'll post a picture of this.
Yay!
I am a psychic medium now. I don't really feel like I am, but that's something we also talked about in classes, imposter syndrome. But anyway, coming off of that class and then getting to see this movie and thinking about the metaverse and like multiple realities and like all of it felt very witchy and tied into all the stuff that we love and talk about. So anyway, if you've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, hit comment on our Instagram. I want to talk to you about it. But yeah, we'll talk. So next episode, Emily will go watch a lot of things and then we'll talk about them.
Yeah, I guess, no promises on next episode, but in the next 2 episodes for sure. Oh, and we should also choose a date for book club, speaking of things I haven't done yet.
We actually have not specifically said this out loud yet, but like we posted it on our Instagram and I keep forgetting to bring it up, but our next book, if you haven't seen our Instagram, is The Little Work by Durgadas Alandariel.
Our friend Durgadas.
I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm really excited to talk about it with you. I feel like...
I got to pick up a copy and then read it immediately.
That's fair. That's legit. So we'll pick a date and we'll post about... why don't you and I talk offline and then we'll post it on our Instagram so you all can plan ahead. And we're going to have Durgadas actually on again to talk about this book as well as his new book that's just coming out. So
yay.
That'll be exciting. I'm excited about that.
That'll be dope. Cool. All right. Well, without further ado,
before Kate thinks of one more thing to bring up,
100% what I'm doing. Hex, yeah.
Sorry. 'Cause it's Witchcast.